Soy Rodo Mihela Lindar no Segunma La Los Bangiers. So, let's hop into this. We're going to be talking about our feelings. Okay, this is kind of a fun thing. This is what attracts a lot of people to Lojban. They absolutely love this. They use it in English. They call it Schniglish. Um, it's something that everybody loves and picks up on really quickly. And so I'll hit on this so you have a fun little break, you know, something kind of cool. Cnima'o. This is a word, and you'll learn why this word sounds strange compared to all the other ones we've been doing much later. But for now, cnima'o. It's like emotion word, and what these are words that describe sort of feelings, emotions, observations. There's a language that was invented some period of time ago by somebody I don't remember, but it was called Ladan. And I hope I've said that right, because there's some sort of extension on the A. The whole idea was that it was this liberating feminist language full of emotions that would allow women to describe what they're feeling properly without the restrictions of the male-centric language, which this isn't the place for opinion, so I'll leave it at that facial expression. However, the whole concept behind it is actually kind of fun, and we find this actually occurs in Lojban as well. We don't necessarily have quite the same agenda, but it's pretty awesome. We have these short little words, and I'll introduce a couple of them that I remember off the top of my head, because I personally don't use them extensively because I'm a robot. But a lot of people will use them frequently, and it's fun. It gives you a certain amount of expression that you don't get in English. We have this word oui, and yes, it sounds just like yes in French, or like the name of a popular, semi-popular anyway, Nintendo console. This expresses happiness. This is simple to understand. I mean, you know, it's that thing where the face makes this, and then other people don't hate you quite as much because yeah. So happiness. What you do with this word is you slap it anywhere right after something, and it's perfectly grammatical right there. It is a free grammar word. That's right, free. We're giving the grammar away. Okay. So for example, I'm going to give you this sentence here. Mi shitka lo pliseku. Okay? Do we follow along? Mi shitka lo pliseku. I eat an apple. Plise, X1 is an apple. Yes, everything's a verb, but don't call it a verb or you're wrong. So, Mishitka lo plise, I eat an apple, or several apples, or anything. But that's for the masterclass. So, you get the point. Now, to add in what I was talking about initially. Mishitka lo pliseku ui. This means that I am happy, specifically about the apple about which I'm speaking. It indicates that thing in particular. Now, if I say, Mi shitka ui lo plise, it indicates that I'm happy that I am eating. It is that the object of my happiness is eating. And then mi ui shitka lo plise is I'm happy about me, because I'm just so dang awesome. We'll discuss more advanced things in later classes, because I'm going to be holding master classes for all of these subjects that go even deeper into their details. But, to give you a fun little thing to know for now, something like rinai is unhappiness. So you can say, Mi shitka lo pliseku rinai. I don't like apples. Or, things like uhi, which is like funny. I find that funny. Uhinai is that's not funny. Um, and yo, like respect, yo, and yonai, no respect at all, and you, I love, and yunai, just like I dislike, and you see where I'm going with this. There's a whole really big bunch of these that you'll find when you're doing your vocabulary lessons, and it kind of flip flops like that. So we, night, etc. And then some fun little things to tack on there is uh, we sigh. It's like really, really. It's an extreme kind of thing. And I'll throw more of those in all the different classifiers in our advanced class. But keep that in mind for now. Study your vocabulary. Throw a bunch of them in there. Pepper your language with these little cnima'o. Throw them all over the place. Make heavy use of them. Let's see some videos of you using those in your speech. Let's see some video responses, that sort of thing. And I will see you in the next lesson, which will be about abstractors, which are fun and complex, and really kind of the last step before we just get into the last 2% of the language. So, take care. Kiherodo shoho. So, this is actually take number 2. I'd horribly mutilated the last video with my unprofessionalism and loud noises and so on. And Adrian Abella from Facebook comments, I'd personally like to see lessons, especially with pronunciation. There, summarized. So, I'll go ahead and tackle that quickly because that takes no thought at all. Well, some thought, I'm a little over, so. It requires a little bit of concentration. We have, I'll just point out the unusual letters really quick. The letter X is pronounced like ha. It's sort of a throaty thing. It's like you're clearing your throat. If you speak, like, Arabic or German, or if you're from Scotland, or even perhaps Manchester, this sound may be familiar to you. It is like or loch, or pach, if you speak Klingon, I don't know. But it's a sound, and that's one of the ones in the language. The other ones, the letter C is pronounced sh, like shh, I'm watching a film. Quiet. So it is pronounced like that. It is a fricative. It's a sh. And its voiced equivalent, which is the letter J, which is pronounced j, as in bonjour or measure. And then there's the letter R, which can be pronounced like the letter R, depending on whatever language you speak. It can be ra, or ra, or da, or ra. It can be any kind of rhotic sound, any R. And then finally the letter Y, which is a little unusual in that it's a schwa. The letter Y is pronounced as in I don't know. Like as in up or ugly. It is the sound. And one must be careful to not mix this up with the letter A. I'm looking at you, Americans. Then really quick, the rest of it. A as in E as in I as in E, O as in O, and the letter U as in oo, I, O, oo, and then P as in Paul, B as in boy, T as in Tom, K as in kill, D as in dog, G as in God,
F is in Frank, V is in Victor, S is in Sam, Z as in zebra, or Z as in zebra, not really. C as in shoes, J as in joli, L as in Larry, R as in Robert, or Robert, or what have you. M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, and X like in Ahmed, or Loch, or Ach, or Pach, or what have you. So that's a quick rundown. The letter T and C next to each other, that is pronounced cha, like chocolate milk, or choosing to be ridiculous on YouTube for the amusement of others. Similarly, the voiced equivalent D and J together is pronounced ja, as in just in time. I've made a complete fool of myself. Ja. So, respectively, like the words Chati and Juno in Lojban. It's very important to pronounce these correctly. And then finally, not finally, almost finally, there's this nifty little character. It's called an apostrophe. I'm not quite sure. I'm not familiar with these things. Which is commonly the H or TH sound. You'll see it in words like aho or ato, which is like hope or I hope, or I feel hope about. But yes, it's a thing. It exists. Make note of it. If you see that little apostrophe, it is either h or th. One of those two. So, are we paying attention? Okay. So roll with me on this. Like aho, ahe, ahi, various things like that. It's there. It exists. Sometimes people pronounce it with a th instead of a ha, and that's okay. Don't discriminate. That's not okay to do. Finally, the vowels mushed together, diphthongs, as they were called, and probably still are. If you see, it's only diphthongs that stutter. There's only diphthongs. There's no triphthongs. It's not okay. Don't do it. If it begins with an I, you sort of say that I like it's a Y. Ya, ye, ye, yo, you. And ya, I guess you can do that, but it's not in any words really. If it begins with you, you pronounce it sort of like a W. Wa, we, we, wo, woo, wa. Again, wa isn't really anything, but there it is. It exists. It's permissible. So, yes, and then there are only three others, which are I, which is A and I next to each other, A, which is E and I next to each other, and Oi, which is O and I next to each other. So, ya, ye, yi, yo, you, wa, we, we, wo, woo, I, A, Oi. All of those. That's it. No more. No mas. And I think that pretty much covers it. Really quick, some fun little things to practice, because I know you're going to mess it up. That's me being optimistic. Note that there is a difference between be and bay. Be, bay. Two different words, I promise you. You must pronounce them totally differently, because even though you're very much inclined to not have a final E and to round it off with an I, you must not do this, because they mean two different things, and you will be understood differently if you use them differently. Probably misunderstood entirely. And then also, You will be understood if you make this mistake, but don't. It's bad form, it sounds silly, and it's not okay to do. Rounding off your O's. Don't do this. Ko, not ko. And do, not do. Don't add W's to the end of your O's. I know it's really hard to do, but you must practice, because it sounds ridiculous if you do this. You, for example, say this phrase, kogleki, kogleki. It's very important that you have very, very good pronunciation, because otherwise you just sound ridiculous and everyone will laugh at you and no one will be your friend. And then who's going to speak Lojban with you? Still no one, because no one speaks. I kid, of course. So it's very important to practice this sort of thing. And then one fun little word for you, two, which is the word cat, mlatu. It is M-L-A-T-U, mlatu. And also, chrula. I got that one wrong, see, it's still difficult. Chrula. X-R-U-L-A, which is flower, chrula. A bit of a stuttering problem, please forgive me. So, mlatu, chrula. It's quite a bit of fun to try to say those, because they're a little bit awkward for the Western tongue. And so, with that, I think I've hit on most of the points I can think to hit on. Anyway, so if you have any specific questions, comments, concerns, or if you'd like me to say any particular words, please do the comment dance, or send me something on G+, Facebook, Twitter, what have you. I check those out every single day, so pretty please get in contact if you need anything pronounced or you have any specific questions. I'd be happy to address them either on that medium or on YouTube if you prefer, or if I happen to prefer. We'll see. So, thank you very much for watching. I apologize very severely for my very unprofessional and crass behavior. I hope I've been somewhat amusing and very educational, and if I'm not, please let me know and what I can do better. Thank you for watching. This is Stuttering Problem on behalf of the LLG. My name's Lindar. Take care, be well.